In real estate, it's good to know your resources, what's relevant, and what's real. Here it is, the Real Estate Buzz with Roseann Rogers.
And here she is, Roseann Rogers with the Real Estate Buzz. Roseann, I always want to know, what is the Real Estate Buzz today?
Oh, Bill, the buzz. Let me tell you, there's a lot going on. It's all about preparedness, preparing for things. It's spring. You're thinking about things going on in your home right now. I'm sure a lot of you are probably thinking you need to look at where your homeowner's insurance is.
That is
Hello,
right.
is it
Oh,
up?
yeah.
Where is it? Or how far out do you have? Have you planned for it? Because chances are, because of what happened here not too long ago, that thing called Harvey,
We need to be ready.
I guarantee, yeah, some rates are going to be going up. So it might be a good time to shop around. It may be a good time to call your your insurance agent and say, hey, we need to talk.
And on the subject of preparation, it is so important in everything we do. In fact, one of the branches of the armed service, do you know that their motto is Semper Paratus? And that means
Yes.
always ready, always prepared.
Be prepared.
And I think that's just a great word for us every day of our life as we go forth.
Well, growing up in the military, my dad was in the military. Let me tell you, he was always prepared. That was his motto. That's what he did all the time. He said, when you're not, it's when you don't prepare when something's happening. You prepare right before it happens. And so right now is a good time to take a look at everything in your home right now. Good time as far as, how about your air conditioners, Bill? You had them serviced. They need to be serviced, right? What about your gutters? Gutters need to be.
Now, I haven't thought of my gutters
See,
in a long time.
I walked around and I was like, Fernando, we need to do gutters. I'm walking around the house going, we need to trim this. Let's go. I mean, I have my little list out of things I need to do. I have a to-do list. And if you have help, or if you even have my son and I were out there, I was like, it's going to be a good time and pick some weeds there, buddy. We need to think about this. Now is the time. Also, if you have a pool or a fountain, those kind of things need to be, and it's also like resurfacing. You don't want to do resurfacing during the summer. You want to do it
in the winter.
In the winter time, right? Well, and because we've had so much winter, going on, you need to do that as well. So it's really about making a checklist in your home, first of all. It's also a time where we know spring is the peak of the housing market. And so a lot of homes are going on the market right now in different neighborhoods because certain people want to be able to get into certain school districts, or they want to move different places as far as town, and that as far as their lifestyle. So it's a real good time to take a look at first of all, your home, what's going on, your home inventory, what you need to be doing. Because again, you don't want to do it when it's happened and you have to call someone. There's a lot of those unexpected things that need to happen. As a matter of fact, a repairman came the other day and said, do you know how to clean out your filters in your dishwasher?
I didn't
and
know
I looked at him and I went, can you show me where those are? That'd be great.
I didn't know if they
no,
had
he
that.
said, do you know how to use your own equipment? Now, we bought an older home, so we did not put the appliance in. It's a remodeled home, but it was built in 1960, so a lot of things have been replaced in that home. No, I wasn't the owner that put the appliances in. So he's walking around and all the appliances because that's what he does. And he said, well, let me just show you a couple of things that you need to be aware of and know how to do. And he said to me, do you know how to clean the vents? Do you know how to get the vents at the top of your, no, I do not know that either. He's like, well, I'm going to show you how to do it. So things you don't know of that need to be done on a regular basis to prepare and also keep things so you don't have to call the repairman. So you have to, keep things up as far as maintenance is concerned.
Many things go with being a homeowner. It's unbelievable. And then when we start thinking about the age of the home,
right.
But the whole idea of being prepared, you said it before, is once we are to be prepared, often the to-do list has to come into play. And even just as simply as getting ready for the next day, I always like to have my stuff ready so I could be ready to blast off the next morning.
That's it. And I think right now, I said, what you're thinking about, you feel so funny, isn't he? He's like, so cuts,
Blast how about
off.
that? Blast off.
I mean, that was like a total reference to what's going on.
One day last week I blasted off. The rest it was just normal. Okay.
Well, you did. I feel like we should go to NASA or something. It's make me think I need to go to Space Center Houston. I'm like, wait, now I need to go there. That's going to be something. Maybe we have to talk about, maybe in one of the buzzes we'll talk about all the great attractions we need to actually do in our own hometown here of Houston, where we don't have to travel so far. We need to do be a tourist in our own town kind of thing. So blast off. Thanks for giving me that total thing. But back to what we were talking about as far as you have realtors on the show all the time.
All the time.
So, be prepared as far as what you want to do and who you're looking for and what neighborhood you want to go into. And they're prepared all the time because that's what they do. They have to know the market very well. Then they have to have comps. They're always prepared. But what do you need to do to prepare too when selecting that realtor or being prepared to put your house on the market?
Once again, I just had an idea. I'm going to write a book of all the to-do lists for different functions, different categories of life, because that's what it's about. To find the right realtor, but first you have to know that the real estate professional, and many people don't think of this, has to be so many things: a negotiator, a counselor, knowledgeable about the up-to-date law, so many things, and you need to have that checklist to know that you're going to get the right real estate professional, let alone being in the title world and being a great title representative for Stewart Title.
Well, and you need to be prepared for them. When you have your real estate professional and you have them there, you're going to put it. Well, what do you need to do to prepare to put your house on the market? I mean, you need to make sure. I mean, you want it to be pleasantly and pleasing. You want it to make sure that you have things you have to declutter. Make sure because people do open up closets and they do like look around. They want to be able to see how much, and you don't want them looking at your things. You want them looking at the bones of the house and the house so they can imagine their own things. So a lot of us have a lot of maybe collections that we have. Maybe we need to say, well, I need to pack up that collection. Maybe
it might not work for the next person looking at it. Right.
And I'll tell you, my husband is pretty much the majority. If he walks in, he hasn't even looked at the house, and something like, oh, there's a painting or there's a collection like we were just talking about, he'll be like, oh, I don't like this house. It has nothing to do with the house. You didn't even look around. You went to the foyer. The foyer is like the very beginning. We need to
first impressions, though, right?
It's a first impression, but he's not alone. People do that. They already have a preconceived. They're walking up the stairs. They're walking up the whole pathway, and then they're already in their mind. They're thinking what they're expect. Why don't you surprise them and blow them away when they open that door?
So many things come into play. Again, that first impression is so important. I mean, when you pull into the neighborhood, when you park your car and walk up the front steps, it's just incredible to be aware of all these things and to have them ready to sell your home. And I've got another thing, and that is, as far as being prepared, let's say you may not move from your home for years.
Right.
But how about this? What if you have just the idea in your mind that, what if I have to sell it in short order? Why not just have your house real nice in case you have to?
I always believe that. You know, my husband's gotten transferred several times. Growing up, the military was the same thing, Bill. I mean, I can remember as a child growing up, I moved my 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and 11th grade years.
Wow. So you had to always be ready.
We always had to be ready, be prepared, and it was just the way it goes. And so you just never know. I mean, obviously in this day and age, people have a lot of, 2-income families that sometimes one of the spouses has to travel during the week. And you have to be prepared, and they only come home on the weekends. I can't tell you. I have so many of my friends that are like that. I'm like, they have to prepare their time when they're out of town, when they come back out of town. And then it's the same thing of how your household runs, of how you're going to do that. And then all of a sudden, if you add children in the mix, or maybe you have pets. What's going to, I know, I have pets and a child.
Pets and children are the same thing in some cases, in some families.
Like this morning, I was like, where is my cat? He's been next door.
Where was he?
I'm not sure, Bill. I got more cameras.
What's his name?
I'm going to get a dog. I'm like going to get a dog to keep the cats in. Oliver,
that's right.
Oliver, Max, and Oliver.
That is awesome.
Going, where are you right now? I gotta go.
And Roseann, say before we close the segment, what else would you like people to know about being prepared before we leave?
We're prepared as Stewart Title. That is part of our motto. Our messaging is what we do. Is it's important to be prepared prior to going to the closing table, but of course on the closing day itself, because that's success for all of us. And you're buying a home, and this is the end result. You can't get a home and move into a home without title. And that's what we do every day. And so I'm very proud that we have a team of experts that are very prepared on a daily basis, that you could call them. And if you have any questions, some people want to know, what is title insurance? Do I have to have it? Yes. The answer is yes. But there's a lot of details that go in that as well. And so we have a great team, and we're here to help. And we're a resource.
Our escrow officers are prepared. The checklist that they have to maneuver and have ready, it's like putting a Swiss watch together. They are the A-team all over Houston and beyond for Stewart Title.
I like that. I like that analogy there, Bill. That's good. That's a good buzz.
Swiss
I like
watch,
that.
which part did you like?
I like that Swiss watch. It's true.
But they are ready. That is true, and that is a fact. Just go to Stewart.com, find your closest Stewart office, and that's a great place to close that real estate transaction.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Bill, for having me on. Appreciate it.
And you heard it. Roseann Rogers, Houston Sales Manager, The Real Estate Buzz. Thank you, Roseann.
Thank you, Bill.